Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Deal with mental health issues before anything else. Now, of course, on this channel, I talk primarily about man gets woman and then secondarily about just being a sovereign man. And that's still always going to be the main thing. But one of the issues I'm seeing just from in-person discussions, a discussion here and there via consultation, and some people even put public posts about this. It's the mental health thing, because they'll tell me about some stuff and I'm just like, well, you need to get with a therapist. You need to have a mental health professional, because that is beyond what I can give you. Because if you really look at everything I'm talking about, what I present is my philosophy. My philosophy. You know, if there was a science to getting women or becoming sovereign, people would just do that. I'm just giving you a path. Somebody else might have something different. But if you're talking about mental health, that goes beyond what I could tell you, because I am not a mental health professional. I am not a licensed professional. I might have had a couple psychology classes, but that is not formal training, degreed training in a mental health field. And so, and here's what, and you know, that's you know, dealing with, you know, what qualifications I don't have. But a lot of men got to deal with that first, because here's the thing that's not talked about. There's many men are suffering out here from mental health issues, and indeed a lot of them actually come from dealing with women. You got men out here who were emotionally abused, sometimes even physically abused by their mother, or their mother might have been absent, or things of that nature. And trust me, I can relate. I can relate. And, you know, had to do a lot of work just to deal with that. And then you got a whole bunch of stuff. Or if you talk about sexuality, like sexual abuse, it's not talked about. It's always talked about how little girls are sexually abused, but a lot of men have been sexually abused by women. You know, yeah, older men as well, but by women. And that's an issue. And whether it's a man or a woman, that's an issue. It could have been anything else. It could have been, the trauma could have been something else. Losing maybe a parent or a grandparent or a beloved person as a young person. Or you have a lot of men. Actually, there's just some clinical stuff. It could be schizophrenia. It was a certain term. It's slipping my mind now, but there's so many different phobias and everything, personality disorders, and that's really a big issue that really need to be looked at. In fact, I've publicly said several times, licensed mental health professionals really need to delve into these relationship issues. Because if you're having mental health problems and you're not, you know, it could be along any lines, it's going to make it hard to relate to another person. And even when you're trying to relate, these issues pop up, that affects the relationship, because you're dealing with that other person emotionally. You're dealing with them mentally. You know, there's always so much talk about looking a certain way. But okay, that gets you over there, but you have to still talk with them. But what if you have some type of paranoia? What if you have borderline personality disorder? What if you're narcissistic? Like we always talk about what the other person is. But what happens when you have that? What happens when you have that? That's going to stop you from really getting a strong relationship. And really, it goes beyond even relationships. It's gonna hinder you just getting through life. Because that's a big problem. The mental health crises, I'm gonna say it's a crisis out here, is something that must be dealt with. I've talked about this before. Like, okay, like if we see somebody in a wheelchair, we go out our way to help them, and we have some sympathy for them. If somebody's showing a mental health thing, we would say, oh, they crazy. And I said this before, and I said I have to work on myself about using that term. Because what if they do have a mental health thing? Oh, it can mean a lot. I've even dealt with some women with mental health issues. And it's different. It is different, and it can cause a lot of trouble. Or if you're trying to work, what if, I can't think of that word, afraid to go outside. I can't think of that phobia. Wow. I was trying to say it earlier, but it's that phobia where you might be afraid to go outside. Or what if you're dealing with anxiety, severe anxiety? That's a mental health issue. Or depression, that's a mental health issue. If you don't deal with them, that could mess it up. I've known people dealing with anxiety, and it's messing them up, not just getting a woman, or in case of some women getting a man, but just getting through life, doing some of the stuff that's holding you back. Like if you have anxiety, like say you want to be like that great writer or something, but you have anxiety about how people will treat your work, there will be issues. There will be issues because you have that fear, so you don't want to do it. Or what if something happened in your past and you got depression? Depression really need to be seen as a mental health issue. You're depressed because you're still thinking about it. You're still thinking about the issue. It can hinder you. You have people who can't get out of bed because of either anxiety or depression. How are they going to interact otherwise? Not just with the opposite sex, but like I keep saying, just life, period. That needs to be dealt with. Look, if you watching me, I know I'm known for body game, talking about sovereignty. I'm known for doing the car videos where, kind of rough about it. Okay, fine, and I appreciate the support. But you're trying to help yourself. Your first thing you need to be doing, if you're dealing with any mental health issue, I don't care what it is, I don't care what people say about it. They might say, well, it's not all that. Hey, if it's debilitating to you, it's all that to you. You need to deal with that first. You need to deal with that first. Therapy, or if you don't want therapy, a spiritual leader, somebody you can talk to, or if you just want to go it by yourself and deal with it, as long as you deal with it, whatever way you want to do. But you have to. Seriously, look, like I said, if you got it, look, here's how serious I am about you dealing with it. If you have to stop supporting me on my Patreons or buying stuff from me, on watching my videos, sitting through my commercials from me, I have zero problem with that as long as you getting the help that you need. Take them, I don't mind. I do not mind. Because I want everybody to get help that they need. Do what you have to do. If you got to pull back from this YouTube space, do it. Hey, sometimes you might have to pull back from some friends. Do it. You got to deal with it. This is your life. This is more important than how to get some pussy. This is way more important. Or working to be even sovereign, because you can't be sovereign if you got some mental health issues that you're dealing with. You just want to live best. I want you to. Like I said, and I'm dead serious. If it means you're not supporting me the same way, but you dealing with the mental health issue, I'm glad to hear it. I'd rather hear that. Yes, and as money grubbing as I am, I'd rather know that you're dealing with the issues, whatever you got to do. Whatever you have to do, deal with those before anything else, all right? So that's it for now. And like I said, don't be ashamed to get the help that you need. That's very important. I want everybody hearing that. Deal with the issues. Don't carry that pain from your past throughout the rest of your life. Deal with it. It's no shame. It is no shame at all. Things happen. And especially if it's something from childhood, you were vulnerable. You were vulnerable. You don't mess with children. And if somebody did something for you, there's a nice warm place for them. But as far as what you healing and everything, focus on your healing before anything else. Because once you start healing, you'll find out everything else will open up for you. All right? So that's all I have, and I'm very serious. Look for any professionals in your area. Do what you have to do to get better, but deal with those mental health issues, okay? I'll get back with y'all later on. Peace and blessings.